Jason, you've been around the block. You hear everything just like everybody else, and you can understand why many of my questions are timeline questions, is because the sense is that Brady and Bruce were not copacetic anymore, and that that's why he stepped away. I mean, you're hearing it, and the reason why Bruce is now stepping down was some form of Brady being satisfied in order to come back and play for the Buccaneers, and I want to put that right in front of you and see what you think of that storyline.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. What's been put in front of us today, it's put in front of Bruce at his press conference too. All I got to say is I have not seen any of that other than normal coach-player relationship. Occasional, like Bruce likes to cuss out every player at one point or another. But they have a phenomenal relationship and always have and still do. So, I don't know what else I can say to put it to bed, but people are, like Bruce said, people are going to write what they want to write.
Right. And so, it's just as simple as Brady was going through his process about whether he wanted to play or not, and then Bruce decided what he decided in his own way. So I guess I'll ask you a hypothetical, and I know that may lead to not getting much of an answer, but that's the way things go. If Brady decided not to come back, he would have stayed then, because it would have been a much more troublesome situation in which to try and leave things to somebody he wanted to leave it to. Is that the sense?
Well,
you're saying?
The sense was, I don't want to say troublesome. It would have been challenging and more challenging. And Bruce wanted to make sure everybody was in a good spot. All of his assistants left in that the house was cleaned, and so I don't want to deal with the hypothetical. But he has gone on and said that he would have he was looking forward to coaching whoever that quarterback would have been. But all I got to say is his dream has been, since I've known him, when he retires, to leave it to one of his assistants, and you know where he stands on diversity and inclusion, and to leave it to one of his assistants in a phenomenal spot. And what better spot could it be? Can you think in the history of the NFL where a coach is retired and it goes to another coach where they have a quarterback like Tom Brady and a very good roster like we have? So he's one of the most unselfish people I know, and that this has been one of his platforms, or his major platform, since he's been a coach.
And then I guess one last one for you on this whole process then. Look, part of the reason why this conversation is we're having, and all those rumors are out there, is because Brady decides to come back, and the one thing that you'd want to know, certainly if you're at the end of your career, you want to know who your teammates are. You want to know who the owner is, obviously who you would be, and those pieces are all in place. You also want to know who your coach is, your HC. And now he's gone. Did he have any 2 cents, and was that part of the process, and whether you were going to go with Todd Bowles? Did he have some sort of check mark on that, Tom?
Bruce and Tom had a great conversation about it, and Bruce didn't have to do a good sales job on his assistants. It
Right.
speaks for itself. So, there was never any demand. I can promise you that. And Bruce feels very good right now. He's going to his lake house for a couple days right now.
Yes.
He's probably going to hit the links. He's never been in better health, and you know what? I'm very excited for him that he's now, without the stress of a season, he's going to be able to preserve his health. Okay,
and I just loved his soundbite today too, Jason. He's like, I'm the senior football consultant, whatever the hell that means. I'll let you know when I figure it out. It
probably means he's going to want to pull me out of here and go get drinks.
I'm sure. Makes sense. It makes sense. So,
no, he's phenomenal. It's like I'll lean on him. He's phenomenal. With me, with my staff, with the draft and free agency, he's a phenomenal evaluator, and I'm really looking forward to working with him more on that.
Yeah, and it's you'll have a front row seat to something that I think we're all kind of wondering what that looks like, and we have a sense of it, is Bruce Arians in football without the stress of coaching. I can't imagine how much fun that might actually be when you're going to get his advice and he doesn't have that stress hanging over his head. That's going to be something else.
No doubt. I'm going to have to buckle my seatbelt again, I think.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.